Have you ever looked at that pile of stuff piling up in your house and felt like you'll never be able to organize it all? You know that exhausting feeling just thinking about starting to tidy up? Well, today, I'm going to show you a method so simple it almost seems like magic, but it's pure practical sense. It's the famous 30-30-30, a routine that's changing the lives of thousands of people who, like you, were tired of living in a mess. And look, I know exactly what you're thinking. Another complicated method that promises miracles, right? But calm down, because this one is different. It was created precisely for those who don't have the patience for fancy systems and just want to see quick results. The secret is in the numbers: 30, 30, and 30. 30 minutes, 30 items, 30 days. Sounds too simple to work. That's exactly why it works so well. Throughout this video, you'll discover every detail of this powerful technique, learn how to apply it in your home without stress, and most importantly, understand why thousands of people have finally managed to declutter their spaces using this routine. If you don't learn this today, you might keep putting off organizing your home forever, accumulating more and more stuff until you have no more space or peace of mind. But if you stick with me until the end, I guarantee you'll have a simple and effective tool in your hands that will transform any messy room into an organized and pleasant environment. So get ready, because what you'll learn here could completely change the way you manage your home. Tip 1. Understand the power of 30 minutes. Let's start with the first 30 minutes, which is the foundation of everything. 30 minutes. Why is this time so special? Because 30 minutes is enough time to make a real difference, yet short enough not to exhaust you. Most people give up on organizing their homes because they think they need a whole day, several hours of hard work. But the truth is quite different. When you set aside just half an hour of your day, without pressure, without rushing, you can accomplish much more than you imagine. And best of all, it doesn't have to be a marathon. You choose the time that works best for you. Early in the morning before everyone wakes up, or in the afternoon after lunch, or even at night when the house is quieter. The important thing is that it's a commitment to yourself. 30 minutes that are just yours, dedicated to improving the environment where you live. Now here's a secret many people don't tell you. These 30 minutes need to be focused. No stopping to answer the phone, check messages, or get distracted by other tasks. It's you and that space that needs organizing, nothing else. Set an alarm clock, a timer on your phone, anything that keeps track of time. When it goes off, you stop. It's that simple. Do you know why this works so well? Because our brains like clear boundaries. When you know you only have 30 minutes, you work with more focus, without wasting time deciding what to do. And what's more, at the end of those 30 minutes, you'll feel enormous satisfaction seeing the progress you've made. This feeling of achievement is crucial because it motivates you to keep going the next day. Many people think they need hours and hours to see a difference, but the truth is that consistency is worth more than duration. It's better to do 30 minutes every day than to try to do 5 hours once a month and end up giving up halfway through. Another important point. In those 30 minutes, you don't have to finish everything. You don't have to make the room perfect. The goal is to make progress, not achieve perfection all at once. If you started organizing a closet and the time is up, no problem. You can continue tomorrow. The important thing is to create the habit, to train your body and mind to dedicate this sacred time to caring for your space. Over time, you'll notice that these 30 minutes become automatic, like brushing your teeth or drinking coffee. It becomes part of your routine, and then the magic happens. Your home begins to transform without you having to make any huge sacrifices. So the first lesson is this: respect the 30 minutes. Don't try to do more, don't try to do less. Trust the process and see how this small window of time can completely revolutionize the state of your home. Tip 2. Master the 30-item technique. Now let's move on to the second 30, which is equally powerful. 30 items. This is where most people get stuck because they don't know where to start when they look at a messy space. But with this technique, it's easy. The idea is simple. In each 30-minute session, you'll choose, separate, and decide the fate of 30 items. It can be anything. Clothes you no longer use, old papers, broken objects, things that are just taking up space. The number 30 is strategic because it's neither too little nor too much. It's enough to make a visible difference, but without overwhelming you. And look how interesting. When you work with a clear goal, like 30 items, your brain becomes smarter. You don't waste time trying to decide how much to do, because the goal is already defined. Just pick things up one by one until you reach 30. You can count out loud if you like, or make marks on a piece of paper, whatever works best for you. Now, a golden tip. Always start with the most obvious items, the ones you know you no longer need. That 3-year-old magazine, the broken toy, the empty wrapper, the stained clothes you'll never wear. These are the first to go. Don't waste time agonizing over each item, especially in the beginning. Save the toughest decisions for when you've gotten the hang of it. And there's a strategy that helps a lot. Have 3 boxes or bags on hand. One for donations, one for trash, and one for things that will stay but need to go elsewhere in the house. That way, as you gather the 30 items, you'll put each one in its proper place. This speeds up the process and avoids that mess of piles scattered across the floor. Another important thing, don't worry if at first it seems like you're going through everything and not seeing much of a difference. It's normal. Decluttering is a process that builds up. On the first day, you remove 30 things. On the second, another 30. On the third, another 30. In 1 week, you've already removed over 200 items from your home. Can you imagine the difference that makes? And the best part is, you don't have to be radical. There's no need to throw away things that still have value or meaning to you. The 30-item method is about making conscious choices, not about emptying your house. You decide what stays and what goes, always respecting your needs and lifestyle. If you're unsure about an item, don't force it. Leave it for later. Focus on the items that are easy to decide on, because they'll give you the initial boost. And as you practice, it will become easier to make decisions about those things that have been in limbo for years. So, the secret of the second 30 is this. Work with clear, tangible goals. 30 items per session. It doesn't have to be exact. If you do 28 or 32, that's fine. But having that number in mind gives you direction and helps you measure your progress concretely. Tip 3. The magic of 30. Consecutive days. And we come to the third 30, which is what turns all this into a permanent change. 30 consecutive days. This is where the 30-30-30 method shows its true power. Because it's one thing to spend 30 minutes and remove 30 items once. It's quite another to do it every day for an entire month. And it's precisely this repetition that creates the habit, that changes your mindset, that truly transforms your home. Think about it. In 30 days, doing half an hour a day, you'll have dedicated 15 hours to decluttering. 15 hours that, if you try to do it all at once, would be exhausting and impossible. But divided into small daily doses, they become light and manageable. And what's more, in 30 days, you'll have removed 900 items from your home. That's right, 900. That's a lot, and it makes a huge difference in any environment. Now, why 30 days specifically? Because that's the time our brain needs to begin ingraining a new behavior. For the first few days, you'll need to remind yourself, force yourself a little, and mark it on your calendar. But by the second week, it'll feel more natural. And by day 30, those 30 minutes of organization will have become part of your routine, something you do almost without thinking. And the best part is that over the course of those 30 days, you'll notice changes not only in your home, but in yourself. you'll feel lighter, more in control, more proud of your space. And these feelings are powerful because they motivate you to keep going even after the 30 days are over. Many people who start the 30-day challenge end up sticking with it for much longer because they see the benefits and don't want to stop. But let's be realistic. Maintaining consistency for 30 days isn't always easy. There will be days when you'll be tired, have commitments, or feel lazy, and that's okay. The key is not to give up at the first slip-up. If you skip a day, don't panic. Don't throw everything away. Simply come back the next day. The important thing is the overall trend, not absolute perfection. Of course, the ideal is to do it every day, but if you do it 25 of the 30 days, you'll still get excellent results. Now, a strategy that really helps maintain consistency is to mark the days you've completed. It can be on a paper calendar, a smartphone app, or even by marking a cross on each day you've accomplished the mission. Seeing that streak of days marked gives you extra motivation to stay on track. It's a bit silly, but it works. And there's another thing that really strengthens commitment: telling someone. It could be a friend, a family member, someone who will ask you how the challenge is going. When you say out loud that you're going to do something for 30 days, it creates accountability that helps you keep going. So the third 30 days is about patience and persistence. It's about trusting that day after day, you're building something bigger. It's about understanding that real transformation doesn't happen overnight, but rather through small, consistent actions over time. 30 days may seem like a long time when you're starting out, but they fly by, and the results are worth every minute invested. Before we continue, I need to ask you something really quick. If you're enjoying these tips and want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from. I love hearing from people who follow the channel. Now let's continue with more amazing tips to help you master this routine once and for all. Tip 4. Choose one room or area at a time. One of the most common mistakes people make when trying to declutter their home is wanting to do everything at once. They look at the entire house and think they need to organize everything at once. But this is a recipe for frustration and giving up. The secret to successfully applying the 30-30-30 method is to focus on one area at a time. Choose a room or even a section of a room and dedicate your 30-minute sessions to that space until it's the way you want it. For example, you could start in the bedroom, specifically the closet. For a week, spend all of your 30 minutes a day decluttering the closet. You remove 30 items a day, separating what to donate, what to throw away, and what to keep better. And when the closet is ready, you move on to another area, like the dresser or the nightstand. This approach has several advantages. First, you see quick results in a specific area, which motivates you to continue. Second, you won't feel like you're messing with everything and not getting anything done. Third, you'll be able to better organize your time and energy. Now, how do you choose where to start? The tip is to start with the place that bothers you the most, the one that makes your heart ache when you look at it. It could be the kitchen, the bathroom, or that corner of the living room where everything piles up. Starting with what irritates you the most gives you an important psychological victory right away. You solve the problem that bothered you the most, and this gives you the energy to tackle other areas. On the other hand, if you're the type who needs a motivational boost at the beginning, you can start with the easiest place, where you know you'll see a quick difference. The important thing is to start no matter where, and there's one important detail. When you're working on a specific area, resist the temptation to start tackling other things. If you're organizing the kitchen and find an item of clothing that needs to go to the bedroom, don't go there right away. Put it in the "go elsewhere" box and take it all at once when the 30 minutes are up. This prevents you from wandering around without finishing anything. Another good strategy is to divide larger rooms into smaller zones. The kitchen, for example, can be divided into lower cabinets, upper cabinets, drawers, refrigerator, and sink area. Each zone becomes a mini project, and you tackle one at a time. This makes the process less daunting and more manageable. And don't forget, when you finish organizing an area, take a moment to appreciate the result. Look at the clean, organized, functional space. Feel the satisfaction of having done it. This pause to celebrate small victories is essential to keeping motivation high. You don't have to wait for the whole house to be perfect to feel good about your progress. Each area conquered is a real achievement. So the fourth tip is this: focus, focus, focus. One area at a time with patience and consistency. Don't spread yourself thin. Don't try to embrace the world. Choose your target, dedicate your 30 minutes a day to it, and only change areas when that space is the way you want it. So, step by step, room by room, your entire home will transform. Tip 5. Create simple rules to decide what goes out. One of the hardest parts of decluttering is making the decision about each item, stay or go. And that's where many people get stuck, spending minutes staring at an item trying to decide, and ultimately deciding nothing. To avoid this blockage, you need simple, clear rules that help you make quick decisions. The first rule is this: if you haven't used it in the last 12 months, you probably don't need it. Of course, there are exceptions like party clothes or seasonal gear, but for most things, a year is more than enough time to know if it's part of your life or not. Second rule: if it's broken and you haven't fixed it yet, you won't fix it. How many times have you kept something broken thinking, "I'll fix it someday," and that day never came? Be honest with yourself. If you haven't fixed it in 6 months, throw it away or donate it to someone with the skills and desire to fix it. Third rule: if you have more than one item and don't need them all, choose the best one and let the rest go. 5 pens that don't work properly, 3 pants of the same size, 6 old towels when you have 4 new ones. Why keep the excess? Choose the items you truly like and use, and let go of the rest. Fourth rule: if it makes you feel bad, guilty, or sad, it's not worth keeping. Some people keep gifts they don't like, clothes that no longer fit, things that remind them of bad times. Your home needs to be a place that makes you feel good, not a repository of guilt and sadness. If an object doesn't bring you joy or usefulness, it doesn't deserve a place in your life. Fifth rule: ask yourself if you would buy it again today. If the answer is no, then why are you keeping it? This is a simple but powerful test. If you wouldn't pay money for that item today, it has no real value to you. It's just there by inertia. And there's a bonus rule that works very well: the maybe rule. If you're unsure about an item, put it in a maybe box with today's date. Store the box somewhere out of the way. 6 months from now, if you haven't looked for anything in that box, you can donate it all without even opening it. This resolves those paralyzing doubts without forcing you to make difficult decisions right away. The important thing is to have these rules at your fingertips when you're doing your daily 30 minutes. That way, when you pick up an item and start to waver, just quickly go through the rules and the decision becomes clear. This greatly speeds up the process and avoids the mental fatigue of deciding one thing after another without any criteria. And look, at first you may even disagree with some of these rules. You may think they're too rigid or too simple. But try them for a few days and see how much easier it makes your life. You'll realize that most of the things we keep have no real reason to be there, and that letting go of these items brings incredible lightness. So the fifth tip is this: have clear rules and follow them. Don't let every decision turn into a drama. Trust the criteria you've chosen and go for it. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to make these decisions, until you reach a point where you look at an item and know instantly what to do with it. Tip 6. Use the before and after technique. One of the most motivating things about decluttering is seeing the progress you're making. And the best way to record that progress is by taking before and after photos. It may seem silly, but believe me, it makes a huge difference in your motivation and commitment to the process. Before you begin your 30 minutes in a new space, grab your phone and take a photo. It doesn't have to be anything professional. It's just for the record. Take the photo from an angle that clearly shows the current state of the area, the mess, the disorganization, the accumulation. Then, when you're finished organizing that space, take another photo from the same angle. The transformation you'll see is impressive. The thing is, when you're in the middle of the process, dealing with it every day, sometimes you don't realize how far you've come. But when you compare the before photo with the current situation, the difference is obvious. And this gives you tremendous energy to keep going, because you see concretely that your effort is paying off. What's more, these photos serve as proof to yourself that you're capable of making real changes in your home. On the hardest days, when you're tired or thinking about giving up, just go back and look at the photos. Seeing how much you've already accomplished reminds you why it's worth keeping going. And another cool thing is that you can create a folder on your phone just with these before and after photos. As you progress through the house, fill the folder with the transformations in each room. At the end of the 30 days, when you look at everything together, you'll have an incredible sense of accomplishment. You'll see that you've truly transformed your home, one space at a time. Some people even like to share these photos on social media or in organization groups. It's not mandatory, of course, but if you enjoy sharing your achievements, it can give you even more motivation and even inspire others to start their own decluttering process. But even if you don't show it to anyone, the important thing is to have this record for yourself. Now, an extra tip. In addition to general photos of the space, take photos of specific details that you've organized in a special way. That drawer that was a mess is now beautiful with dividers. That closet that was once cluttered, now everything is visible and accessible. These small details demonstrate the care you're taking with every corner of your home. And there's an important psychological aspect to all this. When you document your progress, your brain understands that it's important, that it's a serious project. You're not just tidying up haphazardly, you're making an intentional, documented transformation. This increases the value you place on the process and keeps you more committed. So the 6th tip is this: document everything, before and after of each area. Keep these photos carefully, revisit them when you need motivation, and at the end of the process, celebrate by looking at everything you've transformed. These records are testaments to your effort and your ability to create positive changes in your life. Tip 7. Involve family or friends in the process. Decluttering doesn't have to be a solitary endeavor. In fact, involving others can make the process much easier, faster, and even fun. If you live with a family, you can turn the daily 30 minutes into a joint activity. Each person is responsible for finding their own 30 items, or you can work together on the same area. The important thing is that everyone participates and understands that they're building a better space for everyone. When children are involved, it becomes an opportunity to teach important values about letting go, caring for things, and generosity in donating what they no longer use. You can turn it into a game. Who finds the 30 items fastest? Who can separate the most things to donate? This way, what could be a tedious task becomes a family game, and children develop the habit of caring for their own space from an early age. If you live alone or prefer to declutter individually, you can still involve friends in other ways. How about inviting a friend to do the 30 minutes together, each in their own home, but at the same time? You schedule a time, make a video call, set a timer, and work together, even remotely. Then you share your accomplishments, celebrate victories, and give each other tips. This collaboration really helps keep motivation high And there's another thing that works well: creating a small group or challenge with friends who also want to declutter their homes. It could be a messaging group where everyone posts daily what they accomplished, how many items they removed, and which areas they organized. Seeing other people progress inspires you, and knowing that others are seeing your progress keeps you more accountable. Now, one situation that might arise is that you live with people who aren't very interested in decluttering, who like to accumulate things, or who resist change. In this case, start with your own space. Organize your room, your closet, your drawers. When people see the difference it makes how your space becomes more pleasant and functional, they might be interested in doing the same. Sometimes, an example is worth 1,000 words. And there's an important rule when dealing with shared spaces. Never throw away other people's things without permission. You can suggest, you can point out the advantages, you can offer help. But the final decision about each person's belongings must be theirs. Respect this limit to avoid conflict and hurt feelings. Now, if you're lucky enough to have someone willing to take on the challenge with you, make the most of it. Share the tasks, help each other with difficult decisions, and celebrate each space gained together. Having company makes everything lighter and more fun, and you'll create positive memories associated with the organization process. So the 7th tip is this: don't view decluttering as a solitary journey. Seek support, whether from family, friends, or online communities. Share your process, your struggles, your victories, and offer the same support to others going through the same thing. Collective energy is powerful and can be the push you need in the most difficult moments. Tip 8. Organize what remains smartly. Once you've removed the 30 items you no longer need, the important part comes: properly organizing what's left. There's no point in decluttering if you don't create a system to keep everything organized later. And here's the truth: organization isn't about having a magazine-ready home. It's about functionality. It's about each item having a specific place and knowing exactly where to find what you need. The first rule of smart organization is: the things you use every day need to be in the most accessible places. It seems obvious, but many people store what they always use in the back of their closets and leave the rare items on the front shelves. Reverse that. What you use daily is at eye level, within easy reach. What you rarely use can go higher or lower. Second rule: group items by category or function. All cleaning products in one place. All medications in one place. All tools in one place. When you group by category, it's much easier to find what you need and also to notice when you're accumulating too much of something. Third rule: use simple organizers, nothing too expensive or complicated. Boxes, jars, dividers, baskets. You don't need to buy a bunch of expensive organizing products. Often, shoe boxes, clean ice cream tubs, or cardboard dividers work perfectly. The important thing is to separate things within drawers and shelves so they don't all get mixed up. Fourth rule: keep space empty. Don't fill every inch of your cabinets and drawers. Leave some space, some slack. This makes it easier to grab and put things away, and it also gives you room when you need to add something new without it becoming a mess immediately. Fifth rule: label if necessary. If you have trouble remembering where everything is, or if you share a house with other people, labels are a great help. They can be simple, handwritten labels. They don't need to be anything fancy. The important thing is that looking from the outside, you know what's inside each box or drawer. And there's a technique that works very well for maintaining organization in the long run: the one in, one out rule. Whenever you buy or receive something new, remove something old from the same category. Bought a new outfit, donate an old one, got a book, pass on another one. This maintains balance and prevents clutter from returning to your home. Another important thing: create quick maintenance routines. For example, before bed, spend 5 minutes putting things back in their place. Or every Friday, Do a quick sweep of each room just to replace what was moved during the week. These small routines prevent clutter from accumulating again, and you from having to do another major declutter in the future. And remember, perfect organization doesn't exist. There will always be a day when things are messier. There will always be a drawer that's a little disorganized, and that's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's functionality and well-being. If you can find what you need, if your home is comfortable for you, then that's good enough. So, the 8th tip is this. After decluttering, organize intelligently. Think about how you use each space and organize according to your actual habits. Don't copy organization systems you've seen online if they don't fit your routine. Create your own system that works for you and maintain it with small daily actions. This way, all the effort you put into decluttering won't go to waste, and your home will remain organized and pleasant for a long time. Before we continue, let me tell you something quick. If you want to have a clean, organized, and fragrant home without wasting hours of your day or spending on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with easy homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now let's continue with the video. Tip 9. Turn your 30 minutes into a ritual. One of the keys to maintaining consistency with the 30-30-30 method is to transform your daily 30 minutes into a special moment, almost like a personal ritual. Don't let it be just another boring task on your list. Make it a time you truly look forward to, that feels good, that brings you peace. And how do you do that? Start by choosing the best time of day for you. Some people love to do it early in the morning when the house is still quiet and the day is just beginning. Others prefer the afternoon after they've done other things. And some like to do it in the evening as a way to end the day with a sense of accomplishment. There's no right time. There's a time that works for you. Try a few and see which one leaves you feeling most energized and focused. Once you've chosen a time, create a pleasant environment for those 30 minutes. Put on some music you like that lifts your spirits. It can be upbeat music if it energizes you, or calmer music if it helps you focus. Open the windows to let in fresh air. Light a nice smelling candle if that's what you like. Wear comfortable clothes. Small details like these transform the experience and make you feel good while you work. Another thing that helps a lot is having a specific place to store your organizing materials. A box or bag with trash bags, donation bags, labels, pins, cleaning cloths. That way, when it's time for your 30 minutes, you don't waste time searching for what you need. It's all there, ready to use. And there's a psychological trick that works really well. Create a small beginning and end ritual. It can be something simple, like drinking a glass of water before you start, taking 3 deep breaths, or even doing a quick stretch. And when your 30 minutes are up, have another ritual, like taking one last look at the space you worked on, smiling at the result, or even making a mark on the calendar. These rituals send signals to your brain that that time is important and special. And here's how interesting it is. Over time, your body and mind will begin to associate that time and those rituals with the activity of organizing. It will become automatic. When the time comes, you'll naturally feel the urge to do your 30 minutes because it's become part of your day, like brushing your teeth or drinking coffee. Now, there are days when the motivation isn't there. That's normal. On those days, the ritual is even more important. Even if you don't feel like it, start the ritual. Put on some music, take a deep breath, and gather your materials. Often, just starting the ritual will get your body into gear, and you'll be able to complete the 30 minutes. And even if you can't do everything, doing even 15 minutes is better than nothing. Another good idea is to have small rewards associated with the ritual. After completing your 30 minutes, you can have that special coffee you love, or sit down to watch an episode of your favorite series, or call a friend. Something that gives you pleasure and acts as a reward for your effort. This trains your brain to associate good things with the act of organizing. And don't underestimate the power of small details that make the experience more enjoyable. If you like scents, use a spray with a calming scent. If you enjoy a drink while you work, prepare a tea or juice beforehand. If you enjoy natural light, do your 30 minutes at a time when the daylight is beautiful. All of this counts and makes a difference in your mood. So, the 9th tip is this: elevate your daily 30 minutes to the status of a ritual. Treat this time you're dedicating to improving your space and your life with respect and care. Create a pleasant environment, establish beginning and end rituals, and associate it with positive things. When you do this, decluttering stops being a burden and becomes a moment of self-care, something you do for yourself because you deserve to live in an organized and peaceful space. Tip 10. Learn to deal with emotional attachment. Now let's talk about one of the hardest parts of decluttering: emotional attachment to objects. Because let's be honest, most of the things we accumulate don't stay in our home for utility. They stay because of emotion. That gift you received and don't use, but feel guilty about donating. That piece of clothing that no longer fits, but reminds you of a good time. That object that belonged to someone you love and you can't bear to part with. And here's an important truth: it's okay to have emotional attachments. You don't have to get rid of everything that has sentimental value, but you do need to learn to make conscious choices about what truly deserves this privileged space in your home and in your life. First, understand that the value of a memory isn't in the object itself, it's in your memory. You can get rid of the thing and still keep the memory alive. If it helps, take a photo of the object before donating or discarding it. This way, you have a record. You can look at it whenever you want, but you no longer have to keep the physical object taking up space. Second, distinguish between objects that bring you joy when you look at them and objects that only bring you guilt or sadness. If every time you see a gift you don't like, your heart sinks with guilt, then that object isn't doing you any good. You can mentally thank the giver for their intention, but get rid of the object itself. They don't need to know, and you don't need to carry that burden. Third, set physical boundaries for sentimental categories. For example, you might decide to keep travel souvenirs, but only what fits in a specific box. Or that you'll keep your children's schoolwork, but only the most special ones, not all of them. Having these boundaries forces you to choose what truly matters, rather than hoarding everything indiscriminately. Fourth, involve others when it's difficult to decide alone. Sometimes a friend or family member can help you see more clearly whether an object truly deserves the space it's taking up or if you're keeping it out of obligation. An outside perspective, without the emotional weight, can be invaluable. Fifth, understand that letting go of things isn't disrespectful to memories or people. You're not erasing the past. You're making space for the present and the future. Your home needs to be a place for you to live now, not a museum of the past. The people who love you would like you to live well, not suffocated by objects in their name. And there's a technique that helps a lot. When you pick up an object with a strong emotional charge, ask yourself, if this person were here now, what would they want me to do? Most of the time, the answer is that they would want you to live lightly, to pass the object on to someone who could use it, to do what's best for you. This frees you from guilt. Another common situation is keeping things because you think you might need them in the future. That famous what if. What if I need this outfit? What if I want to read this book? What if someone asks for this object? The truth is, most what ifs never happen. And if they do, you find a solution right away. It's not worth living suffocated by possibilities that will probably never come true. And look, in cases of very strong attachment, especially related to recent losses or delicate situations, don't rush. You can put those things off, focusing first on the objects that are easier to release. With time and practice, you gain confidence and it becomes easier to deal with even the deepest attachments. Don't force yourself to do anything that causes you real suffering. So the 10th tip is this: recognize your emotional attachments, but don't let them imprison you. Learn to distinguish between what truly nourishes your soul and what only weighs you down. Give yourself permission to choose what stays and what goes, knowing that your memories and your love for others don't depend on objects. And remember, a lighter home is a lighter life. When you release excess, you open up space not only physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. Well, we've reached the end of this video, and I sincerely hope these tips on the 30-30-30 method have shown you that decluttering your home doesn't have to be a huge sacrifice. With just 30 minutes a day, removing 30 items at a time for 30 consecutive days, you can completely transform any space in your home. And more than that, you transform your relationship with your belongings, your way of caring for your home, and even your emotional well-being. Remember everything we've seen here: the power of 30 focused minutes, the 30-item technique for always having a clear goal, the importance of 30 days to create a lasting habit, choosing one room at a time to avoid getting lost, creating simple rules for quick decisions, documenting your progress with photos, involving others in the process, intelligently organizing what remains, turning everything into a pleasurable ritual, and learning to deal with the emotional attachments that hold us back. Each of these tips is a powerful tool, and together they form a complete system that really works. No matter how long your home has been accumulating clutter, no matter how many rooms are messy, no matter how many times you've tried to organize and given up, this method offers a clear, simple, and effective path. The secret isn't to do everything at once. It's to do a little bit every day with consistency and patience. And I want to challenge you right now. Start today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, today. Grab your phone, set a timer for 30 minutes, choose an area of your home that needs attention, and start sorting through 30 items that can go. Do it now, as soon as you finish watching this video. Because the difference between someone who transforms their home and someone who only thinks about transforming it is taking the first step. And I know you can do it. I know you have the strength, discipline, and desire to live in a more organized and peaceful space. You just needed a method that made sense, and now you have it. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. Embrace the 30-day challenge, share it with someone you love who also needs this transformation, and start seeing results from day one. Before I finish, I want to remind you of something important. If you want to have a clean, organized, and fragrant home without wasting hours of your day or spending on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with simple homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. It's worth checking out to transform your routine in a practical and economical way. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and activate the bell to receive notifications of all upcoming videos. Here you'll always find practical, no-nonsense tips that really make a difference in your daily life. And leave a comment below telling me, are you going to take the 30-day challenge? Which room will you start organizing first? I love reading the comments and seeing how you're applying the tips I share here. Your participation motivates me to continue bringing you more and more quality content. Thank you so much for watching this far. Your presence means a lot to me. Now go ahead, get to work, and we'll see you in the next video. Big hug, and see you soon.